thoughts with like the NBA, and who do you think's like gonna win it this year? Are you that far out?
Well, I still think Golden State got what it takes. When they get Boogie back and they get 10, 15 games with Boogie, I think they're going to get to rolling everybody the second half of the season. You know, regular season gets boring to them. After you win 2 championships back-to-back, regular season is just, you know, when the playoffs start, damn it. You know, that's how they think.
So being a guy that obviously, you know, you've been on teams and stuff, the whole Draymond thing, you know, what happened. Do you think realistically that's still having ripple effects, or do you think they're over it for the most part?
Well, I just put myself in that position. If I was on a team and a player called me the B word,
yeah,
you know, and we had back and forth words, I think for as far as going forward, I would know how to squash it and leave it alone to the extent where we can play together and get us another championship and make history. But in the back of my mind, I know that's how you really feel.
Yeah.
So as far as the off the court friendship, the going on trips together and all that, I'm pulling
we
back.
We ain't going Nobu no more.
That's over with. Oh, that's dead. But on the court, we best friends. But as soon as we walk out this locker room, I got to watch you now because now I see how you really feel about me.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's where I think I was I think it was like you and Matt, IG did, when it was like, you know, the thing that makes the Warriors so special, which, you know, I think you have to really play sports to understand is one, have team chemistry on the court, but when you really gel with these people outside of the game, that takes totally your level to another level, because it's like, not only do you just, you know, like this person has my back, they'll ride for me like in real life and here, and it just makes that bond so much stronger. And that's where everybody keeps, you know, trying to replicate the Warriors. And I was like, well, you can't replicate chemistry, you know, like you have it or you don't.
You can't teach it. And if a guy's my friend, I call you my brother, and we, like you said, we have that relationship off the court, I'm gonna play harder for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make sure when you get beat, I'm there as your help side defense. All that stuff matters. So you're exactly right about that. You can't teach it, but it definitely helps out a lot.
So final couple questions. When you look at the league today, who do you think has who has that dog in them? Like when you see them, you're like, nah, like he wants everything.
Greek Freak, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Kyrie Irving.
James on the offense. This is my knock against Harden, and I think he's an offensive machine. But I'm like, you know, this isn't football where it's like, you know, you either on the offense or the defense. Like you have to play both ways. And for James, it's like he's so great of a player that I really do not think it's going to take that much away from his offense to play some defense.
He's top 4 in steals this year.
Yeah, true.
So that's the only reason, and I'm just like you. I've been killing them the last couple years because anybody can play one side of the ball. I even said the phrase, James Harden is the only person in the NBA that can get crossed over in the phone booth. Like he don't guard nobody. He don't even try to guard nobody.
He'll do a pick and he'll just like he'll look at you like he'll like I'm here, but here.
You know, he had, like I said, he's gotten better this year. He's in top 5 in steals. And the thing about it, what I'm starting to see and what people understand, his defense is his offense. He is punishing teams so bad on offense that they're winning games. And they're so worried about him on defense that it's taking away from teams' energy on offense. So, he dominant right now.
Do you think, who do you see, how far do you think the Lakers will go this season? You think they'll make the Western Conference Finals?
I don't know, but the reason why I won't say no, because LeBron James, he has proven to me, anything if he decides to get the ball, run over everybody and score every time and get to the free throw line, he will win every game. He can do that. But he can't do it. He can't go into a series doing it 1 or 2 games and resting one. The Lakers don't have that talent right now. I can see if he had AD, maybe he had time to rest. If he has enough in his motor to be that same LeBron when they came back 3-1, you know what I'm saying? Not even the year they won 3-1, came back 3-1. He had Kyrie. last year,
Last year.
when he was in Cleveland, game 1, we
He put
had a
the
triple.
entire city of
Yes.
Cleveland and the state of Ohio
Yes.
on his back.
Game 1, Golden State. If he comes back to bat LeBron, I think he can do anything in the Western Conference.
I agree. And the thing about the Lakers when I watch, and, you know, they're always talking about, like, you know, the trade packages and AD and who would you give up. Honestly, the only person in this young Lakers core that I would not give up is Kuz. And, like, Brandon Ingram, he is developing, but he's just, like he's one of those guys that he has so much natural, like, ability, and like he has all the check marks. Like when you look at him, you're like tall, wingspan, athletic, like blah, blah, blah. Like he has all the checks. But sometimes those are the guys who's like they don't know how to put it all together. It's the like shorter, it's the like the dude like the Muggsy Bogues, like those guys who really have to scrap and fight for everything. Those end up being like the man and the superstar because they don't have that, so they have to push so much harder. When you just have this natural God-given ability, it's like you don't really push yourself to the limit. And that's what I see with Brandon Ingram. I'm like, I want you to push to the limit, Brandon.
Everybody see the potential of him, but it won't come out unless he see it. You know, a lot of guys get into the NBA and they get a starting job. They get real complacent with their talent. Feel like they don't need to get better.
Like, no shade, but like Wiggins, you know, it's like these guys where you're like, it is funny because, and I remember, and I was listening to like you and Matt was saying something to me like, I'm glad God didn't make me a superstar. I'm like, I feel you. Like, God knew what he was doing. Because you, like, with your mindset and you're, like, if you had half of these just, like, natural abilities, you'd be like, oh, it's a wrap.
If the way I played, if I had Andrew Wiggins' jumping ability, oh, my God. See, I wasn't athletic like that. If I could fly like he can, oh, yeah, I've definitely been an all-star every year.
So who for you so far is like leading the who's your MVP right now?
My MVP right now probably would be, I would go either Giannis or Kawhi.
Yeah.
Giannis or Kawhi.
I love Giannis, and he just like the thing what I love about him is not only I feel like he's grown in all aspects of his game. Like he's gotten stronger. I think he's gotten mentally tougher, and like that's what you want to see from a guy. Like you want to see like taking these steps forward, and that's the frustration with some of these dudes like Ingram and Wiggins. It's like you could be where he's at. You could be in these conversations. You're just not doing the work. You're not putting in the work on the off season to put yourself in these conversations.
Yeah, they don't want it bad enough. But see, you gotta, and this is another subject I'm going to talk about. You gotta credit that to who are these teams hiring and look at these players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What are you telling your scouting staff? Like, what is your scouting staff looking at? If you know your team need this, then why are you stuck with this type of player that doesn't care? I'm pretty sure when you watched him play or when you watched him try, he showed these same signs of not playing hard all the time. He showed these same signs of not being aggressive all the time. So what made you think once he get all this money that it's going to change? So there's a lot of these teams that have guys that don't know nothing about basketball picking their players, and they end up with guys like this. Yeah,
or just like, you know, like certain people that it's like you're just a stats analysis. It's like, well, to me, like you can't just only know stats to evaluate basketball. Like I think that's what you're supposed to have, but if you don't have any eye tests, like all the stats in the world, a ton of people can fill a stat sheet, but again, you have to be able to see like, okay, what are the intangibles, leadership, like chemistry, like all these things do not show up on a stat sheet.
Right, exactly. No intangibles. They have no. The intangibles is definitely important, man. Like you say, if you can't see it, it's gonna be real hard for you. It's gonna be real hard for you if you can't see it. If you got to look at a piece of paper, and it tell you from a plus minus, it's gonna be kind of hard for you.
Yeah. Okay, so wrapping everything